Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Smash Dude.
And the million here.
And this video, we're going to be reviewing the movie Dogman. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Yes, you are.
What am I forgetting?
The disclaimer.
Of what?
Okay, so this might contain spoilers of the movie, so if you don't want any spoilers, we recommend watching the movie beforehand. But we have something to say about this movie.
If you want to watch it before.
It's more of would you want to watch it, though?
Yeah. I would say, normally, I would say it was a movie, but it was literally, they just grabbed pieces of the...
They basically got every single Dogman book and made one movie out of every single Dogman book.
And they did not do the best job. They didn't do a good job at all.
They didn't do the best job at all. That was a lot of things just felt forced. It's like when Dogman's like owner got blown up by the bomb. Like Dogman was obviously like, I know he's portrayed as an idiot, but in the comics that's supposed to be the best cop. They kind of just made their own like headcanon, I guess, and just like, oh yeah, he's supposed to be bad cop. Greg is supposed to be the good one. No, like in books he wasn't the smartest, but he wasn't an idiot. The reason I know this, I've read every single book.
I was reading all the books.
This is a disappointment.
I haven't read all the books, but I know I read one book. I can't remember which one it was. But all I know is there was too much going on in that movie. Like it was like they spent so much time, or for me it was like too much unnecessary time on one thing, and that one thing had too much going on.
Like I'm fine with there being multiple villains in one movie, but like who was the villain? Like, at the end, I know Flippy's supposed to be the villain, but he wasn't even introduced to, like, halfway through the movie. And then all of a sudden, he's just, like, the villain. Like, that's not usually how Dogman goes. Usually how Dogman goes, the villain has been there throughout the whole book. One thing I actually did like is when you actually see George and Harold in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
He said, hey, I can see my house from here.
You know, not thinking about it, they just ripped out pieces of different comic books and just scattered them through the movie.
Indeed.
Like, one thing was, a lot of that stuff, I think it would be cool if, like, the Captain Underpants movie, that was one book made into one movie. I think the Dogman
It wasn't even a book made into a movie. That was just an original story.
Oh. But I think Dogman should have been the first book, should have been the first movie, not 7 books crammed into one movie. And like Petty Pete was
Yeah, I thought his name was Petty for like 5 years. And it turns out his name was Petey. I'm going to call him Petty either way. It's funny. Like, Petty would be the perfect name. Like, he's the pettiest person in the whole book. And his name literally being Petty. But no, it's Petey. But I'll call him Petey for now. For like 10 minutes.
Yeah. But for me, one of the most entertaining parts was literally the only really entertaining part of the movie. Well, I guess it was entertaining. Just the only part that made the most sense, storyline wise, was when the chief was talking about how Flippy died. That was the only part where the story made sense in my head.
The way Flippy died was crazy, man. Flippy was like the best character. But if you put Flippy in a movie, I'm gonna say one thing: put them little tadpole people in the movie, and just make it about Flippy and the tadpoles. Do not just whip Flippy out of nowhere, and then just like, oh yeah, he's a villain. Yeah. Enjoy yourself.
But wasn't like a different comic book series like Cat Kid is with the tadpoles?
Yeah, but the tadpoles were originally from Dogman.
Yeah.
I also read all the Cat Kid comic club books. Cause like, why not? They were fine. But this is a movie review, so back to the movie.
Oh. Something else that happened. Oh yeah, one part that was pretty funny that was in the comic books that was also in the movie was Petty was Petty.
Petey.
We'll just call him Petty.
Yeah.
Just so you know, if we say Petty, we're talking about Petey. Okay, so when Petty cloned himself, and the undo button would, like, reading.
He said, you have to get an undo button. He said, oh yeah, just click the undo button. He said, okay, sold separately. Why you sell it separately?
Guess they were somehow trying to get more money.
Next movie, if they ever make another Dogman movie,
I think
Lil Petty's gonna be somebody's gonna find that undo button.
Is that happening in the books?
No, there is no such thing as an undo button in the books.
Oh.
In the books, it just says, wait 18 years for them to go into adulthood. One thing that was, I guess, kind of funny about the movie is when Petty was scrolling the internet and he was like, air fryer. No, I don't want an air fryer. I want a cloning machine. And then he just said cloning machine. He's like, ooh, it's even 50% off. Or something like that. I don't remember exactly. It was like yesterday of recording this audio. He was like, ooh. He's like, air fryer. Ooh, cloning machine. Like, you can just buy a cloning machine off of eBay. Why don't you just, like, buy something called the Dogman Stopper 2000 or something? Also, that one person who was basically just trying to annoy Petty, they aren't in the books.
Oh, they're not?
No, I've never seen that person in my life till that movie.
Oh.
And I don't know where they came from. Because Petty never had a sidekick.
He had a clone.
He had a clone, but like, could you ever count Lil Petty as a clone?
I guess.
He said, you can't arrest me in front of my child. I'm like, yes, I can. Okay. He said, you can't arrest me in front of my own child. What a lack of respect, dog, man. That she was like arrested. That she was going off.
Yeah. I love the little references they have hidden in the movie, though.
Like what?
The robot. The robot's name is like it's something hexadecimal, something I can't remember everything, but all of it is something. It's something hexadecimal. Yeah, I think it's just 80 hexadecimal or ADHD.
Like the character's name is, it's like something destruction, and then the 80 stands for something. Cause I think it's 8 and then the letter D.
Yeah. And then another reference in the movie was another more references that just the ones I can remember off the top of my head was that one and Petty getting what's it called again? Getting pardoned.
He got his pardon because it was a voting year.
Yep.
Whenever I hear Flippy's voice, I keep thinking of him just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to flip over a building." I was like, I don't know why, but whenever I hear his voice, I feel like It sounds like he said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna flip this thing over. Oh yeah, I'm gonna flip this thing over." Like whenever I hear, I feel like I just have like a thought of hearing him say he's gonna flip something over. It's like he didn't really do much in that movie to begin with. Actually, like, could you really call him a villain?
Well, he was a villain before the movie started, according to Chief's story, or he was a better villain before the movie happened.
Yeah, but in the movie he was kind of dumb because he brought buildings to life, which the buildings fell swiftly, and then like he just kind of tried to throw a cat in the volcano, and that didn't work. And for some reason, he still has telekinesis. He just doesn't have evil telekinesis. So the evil telekinesis is over because he's still flying. Canonically, he's flying because of telekinesis.
So, Dogman, if you become really smart, you get telekinesis.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
So it's like, if you want telekinesis, you can just go to the library and just start reading a bunch of books, and you just increase your knowledge until you can start flying.
Remember that one scene where the person was like, said, "Hey, when you're trying to like get rid of when Petty, you're trying to get rid of Lil Petty," and the person said, he said, "Oh, a free kitten. How much for it?" He said, "It's free." He said, "Yeah, but how much for it?" He said, "It's free." He said, "I don't think I have enough for that." He said, "I got $1." He said, "I'll take $1." He said, "Okay." They basically like the person who was like that was like, "I'll name the cat Snowflake." He said, "Okay, I'll name you like Poophead or something like that. I don't know." He said, "Hey, that's rude. Take your money." He said, "I'll like change back." It was literally $1. Petty was like, "What was this all about? You give me $1, ask for change, I give you your $1 back." But then all of a sudden you said, "Keep your money. You just gave me $1." Because like you gave him $1 because of what Lil Petty said. It was like, I was confused. I was like, what was the point in this whole scene? You waste 10 seconds of this whole movie to this? Like, something else could have been going on in these 10 seconds.
It was kind of crazy with this being a kids movie. You know, you typically, if a character dies, you typically, well, I guess not typically, I guess some of the kids movies I watch, you don't get really attached to the character, and then they die. Like, they showed so much focus on the first cop, and then they messed up.
Forgot about him, like, halfway through the movie. I was like, where did he go?
He's dead, remember?
Yeah, but I'm like, so like, Dogman was like falling apart, and then he's just fine. And I'm like, so like you just forgot about the.
So there was a whole inspirational speech that the camera person said.
Yeah, there was a whole inspirational speech that the camera person said, but that was because he lost Lil Petey.
Wait, not the camera person.
Or the person who does the news, but no one actually ever watches the news. But then like they're the #1 rated news station, so I don't really know. It's like, I think in Dogman it's like they do the news. No one watches the news, but everybody knows what's going on in the news.
From all that,
I understand why the movie theater was empty when we went in there.
But yeah. I think the movie could have been better. They had some funny jokes, but there was a few times they stretched it. They just went unnecessarily inappropriate, and it wasn't really funny.
They are trying too hard to be funny, and they are trying too hard to make it feel like a Dogman book, but it doesn't feel like it at all. Yes, Dogman books would have just like Dogman is morally close to Sonic Boom than it is to that. Where they just like have a section that's supposed to be funny, and then they have the awkward silence. That's literally basically how Dogman is.
Yeah.
It's just the awkward silences are pretty short because it's a book. But in the movies, like, they completely got rid of the awkward silence part, tried to make it as funny as possible, which made it worse. And then, like, they did a bunch of other stuff which is like, that didn't really make any sense. Because Dogman, one thing I can say about Dogman has one of the most coherent storylines of any book series I've ever seen. And I've only seen like a couple of them. I don't really read that many book series. I usually read like standalone books or something like that. Well, like that was like the most like in-depth storyline because the real villain of Dogman isn't even like Petey or Petty or whatever you want to call him. It's Peggy and the Gnats, I think.
Yeah. I definitely did not read that book.
I like in book 2.
Book 2?
Yeah.
Wait, what? So in the movie, they skipped all the way to book 7, but forgot the book 2 characters.
Yeah, like Piggy and... It's either Piggy and the Fleas or Piggy and the Gnats or Piggy and the Flies. Because it's like, it's a gorilla, a crocodile, and a pig, and they're like the main villains. Even though, like, they don't really get shown that much, they are actually the main villains.
Oh. Man, there's so much, like, the Dogman books, they sound so good, but they didn't translate it well. They didn't translate well the movie. Maybe can you think of ways to make it better?
Oh yeah, I can think of a lot of ways. Number 1, trim it down. It felt really long. Like, I was getting bored.
Yeah.
Like, it can be the same length. It has to be entertaining. So trim it down. Try to make the serious bits not just disappear. Mm-hmm. Make it so you actually get, like, if you want it to have an emotion, if you want the cop to have an emotional attachment, then just like establish that emotional attachment. Then just get rid of him, and then you can like go on with the movie. But like in the Dogman books, they don't give you any emotional attachment.
He just gets blown up.
He just gets blown up and they forget about him. And they just kind of ignore it.
I have a crazy thought. What they do with the rest of the cop and dog.
But I think Cop is still alive inside of the Dogman books though.
He is?
Yeah.
Where is he?
I don't know. Because they keep acting like he's still alive. Like, it's not like he's ever in the books except for like whenever they do a recap of how Dogman became Dogman, but like they never really say if he's dead or not.
Well, it said his head was dying or something like that, and put it on the dog's body. Oh, that actually sounds kind of weird.
So it's Dogman and Man Dog.
Yeah, that would be weird. Yeah, that would be weird. Like that right there is not an idea to add to the movie. That's not what we're recommending. Not the Man Dog.
Do not do Man Dog and Dogman. That would be weird.
But what would be cool is if they focus on one book.
Like if they would, like I would be fine if they went from book 1 to book 2. Fit that into a movie, perfect. I feel like they're trying to appeal to everyone, and that's what you get. Just like if you're gonna make more movies in the Dogman series, which I don't even know if they are, but if you are, just stick to like the first 2 books and just like do 2 books at a time.
Or you could just do 1 book at a time.
There's not enough content to do 1 book at a time.
Oh.
Because yeah, it's like a whole story and whatnot. Most of that story is just jokes and like awkward silences and flip-a-rum and whatnot.
Oh yeah, not thinking about it, there was no flip-a-rama in the movie.
Actually, yeah, there wasn't.
Actually, I kind of like flip-a-rama.
I mean, I read so many books doing flip-a-rama. Like, I kind of feel like Georgia Hero from the Cal Underpants movie when they did Flip Around, and he said, "You ripped the page." And I was talking to myself. I was like, "You ripped the page." Yeah, overall, I would give it a 1 stud.
I give it no studs. For the
It's not the
ratings.
worst thing I ever watched. The worst thing I ever watched. We'll save that for some other time. Worst thing I ever watched. It was like garbage. It was absolute garbage. I don't even think we didn't even watch it because the intro to the movie was so long. It was like 20 minutes. The movie was like an hour and some. 20 minutes in, we're still in intro territory.
I think 20 minutes is an exaggeration. I think it was more.
It was 20 minutes.
It was?
Yeah, there was enough time to cook dinner and start eating, and it'd still be in the intro. I was like, dang, man. Is this movie just an intro in 5 minutes of movie? Like, it wasn't the most complex dinner. It was just kind of just like boiling the bag of rice and like boiling the beans. But like, still, like, that's like a long intro. It's like, man, we're just sitting there.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm rating it A. Yeah, I'm rating it A. I'm giving it no studs. I'm not building anything.
I'm
Because they
giving
need
it.
to build it in their room.
I'm giving them. I might change it up. I'm gonna give them. I'm saving that good old -1 studs for something. I'll give them half a stud.
You can't. How do you do that?
Simple. You get a butter knife, get that stud, cut it in half.
I tried that. It doesn't work.
It does work. It'll take a while.
I actually do have a broken stud. I don't know how it broke.
It's simple. You just break it.
I don't really know how to do that.
There's a lot of ways to break a stud. You can throw a water bottle on it or something.
That used to be a crazy video. Yeah, it would be a crazy video.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it would be a very interesting and crazy video.
Yeah, throwing water bottles at Lego stuff.
Well, that was how we feel about the Dogman movie.
Yeah.
Our review. So this is where we'll be ending the video. Tell us how you would rate it in the comment section, or you can go to the community tab of our YouTube channel where you can vote on, or you can basically select how many studs you would rate it.
Smash. You forgot to say the comment section down below.
Where else is the comment section?
Down below.
Okay, make sure anything you want to say about the movie. If you watched it, you can say it in the comment section down below. But if you want to show us, if you want to select how many studs you rate it, you can go to the community tab of our YouTube channel and go under the Dogman review area.
Dogman, if you rate it 5 studs, if you rate it more than 3, then you rate it more than 3. Like, I can't really get upset. You probably like the movie or something. Well, we'll see you next time. Got it right this time. It took you 5 videos to get it.
Actually, technically, it was 2.
No.
Okay, 3.